Yes, I can see the live.
Yeah, but they always do a introductory song and then we are supposed to start, but the banner is just
Yes,
stable.
yes.
Thambi, start பண்ணலாமா?
I think live போட்டாங்க sister, but I mean it is on the image வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. I think they need to bring our videos actually.
Yeah, yeah. கிருபா தம்பி நீங்க லைவ்ல இருக்கிறீங்களா? Actually, admin would be live, but I couldn't see him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see only the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can start, I
Now,
think.
yeah, now we can start. A very good evening to all of you, friends. We are really very happy that we are back again with you with a Pen, Mike, and Swords book review program. We are living in a very fast-paced world where we don't have time for anything except for our job, and people have really less time to read books. So often people see many books and they might be buying books and keeping it in their shelf, but they don't have time to read the book. So programs like this, தம்பி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் இல்லையா? So program like this will help to know the content of a book so that they can buy the book and read it. So today's book is very interesting because we have the author of the book, and the name of the book is Divine Path to a Happy Marriage, a practical guide to put an end to divorce and broken families. So nowadays we are seeing many families are getting broken, and it's not about people those who don't know God. Those who know God, many families they are facing many issues, and children are getting affected. Our generation are getting affected. So we have our author here, Mrs. Ezhil Bose. She's an advocate, marriage and relationship counselor. So, ma'am, we welcome you to our program. Thank you for accepting the invitation, and in your busy schedule, you took the time for us to come and review this book for us. And I would like to give special thanks to Arun brother. Actually, Arun brother was supposed to present this book, and but then he came with this idea that we can ask the author herself to present the book. So we are very thankful to you. So we have panelists as Sister Sangeetha James. All of us know Sister Sangeetha James, and we have Sam Siddharthan from Mumbai. So without much delay, I would like to turn the podium to Miss Ezhil Bose so that she can give a presentation. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for the team, Pen, Mike, and Sword, Mr. Arul, Jemima, and the panelists for taking your time, for allowing me to present this book. So, before getting into the book's content, I would like to quote the Bible verse that is given in First Corinthians chapter 7 from verse 1. It says, "But it is good for a man not to be married." So that is what the First Corinthians starts with. Now, most of us, when நம்ம இந்த பைபிள் வசனம் படிக்கும் போது, it will be very difficult for us to digest. என்னடா கொரிந்தியர் திருமணமே பண்ண வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு, நம்மளெல்லாம் சன்னியாச வாழ்க்கையை நோக்கி சொல்றாரோ அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு we will be thinking. But the reality or the truth behind it is being hidden. ஸோ அது கல்யாணம் பண்ணி பார்த்தவங்களுக்கு தான் அது தெரியும். அதை என்ன காரணத்துக்காக சொல்றாரு அப்படிங்கிறது we will be able to understand. So to start with, the title of the Divine Path to a Happy Marriage ஏன் வச்சேன் அப்படின்னா, first, God was so beautifully imagining us. He created everything, light and sun and the sea and the moon and the world, everything he created very well. But அவர் படைச்ச ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் மனுஷரை மட்டும்தான் அவரோட இமேஜ்ல படைச்சாரு. So imagine what kind of a love and affection he would have had towards us as a man and woman, that when they born together, how heavenly he was just imagining. That's why he left Adam and Eve to the maximum in the Garden of Eden, where to play and to enjoy and everything. So the disaster came later on in the way of the devil came as a serpent and did lot of confusion. So the divine path to a happy marriage is written with an intention for for a man and woman to understand about what is the real essence of the marriage. ஸோ இந்த புக்கை வந்து நீங்க பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இதை நான் எழுதுறதுக்கு ஒரு பர்சனல் காரணம் இருக்கு. பிகாஸ் ஐ மை செல்ஃப் ஐ ஹவ் கம் ஃப்ரம் அ broken family and I was a victim as a child to see my parents having disagreements, and at that point of time it was very difficult for me because it was so much of an emotional trauma for myself. And I decided when I married that these kind of issues should never come, and I thought that marriage should be done in certain ways. And in my 15 years of experience, I have seen many people struggling to handle a marriage and a relationship. And that's why in the booklet நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா நான் advocate மட்டும் நான் போடல. I have mentioned myself as a relationship trainer. So that is the reason to give an introduction about this book, where it is called The Divine Path to a Happy Marriage, where God created marriage to be a heavenly covenant so that a man and woman can come together to make, you know, more of their descendants.
I think she got disconnected.
Yes, I think ma'am is having network issues. Meanwhile, ma'am comes back. Meanwhile, ma'am comes back. No, is some voice is coming from the background? Is I think someone is unmuted themselves. Okay, so meanwhile, before ma'am comes back, I think brother Arun brother, does ma'am has Jeremiah Karnagaran brother's number? Because the admin would not be live throughout the show.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I have her number. So should I call?
Yeah. If you just check with her whether she's in backstage. If she's in backstage, we can make a call to him and inform him to admit her inside.
Okay.
So, dear friends, marriage is a very sacred institution and it was installed by God. God intended that man and women should come together. They should happily live a good family life, beget children for God, lead them to God, and it should all be a pleasant experience. But see how the world is going today now. Saturn has created such a situation where many people nowadays they are not interested in marriage. They don't understand the importance of sanctity of marriage. So it is really very important that counseling should be given for couples before they get married, what marriage is all about, and even after marriage there should be a mutual understanding between the couples. So I think let Arun brother come back. I think he has read the book. So meanwhile ma'am comes back, we can ask Arun brother to continue what this book is all about, and once ma'am comes we will give the podium to her. So we have two married persons as a panel today. One is a new freshly, I think 3 to 4 years, right Sam? 4 years it is.
No. Recently, I finished third anniversary, September
Okay,
4th.
three.
Uh,
So
yeah.
brother,
So maybe I mean I called her. She's trying to come back. I mean I told her to put a message in the chat so
okay.
that we can. But I have read the book, so maybe I'll share some insights.
Yes brother, you
But
please continue.
yeah. So this book, I mean, as Sister Railil was, hey, 1 second, I'm getting a call.
I think before 6 to 7 months, I have reviewed the book of I think working marriage, working how to work the marriage by Faith Oyedepo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making marriage work. The topic name.
Making marriage. Yes, I remember. I think you've done it for speaking books when I was doing
Yeah.
speaking books, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
okay. So I think
Yeah.
even ma'am has joined. Oh, thank God. She has come back. Ma'am, are you able to hear us? She's in backstage. Brother, meanwhile, Arun brother, you please take over and you start giving insights. Let me
Yeah,
go and make a call to the admin.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so this book is a very short book, as sister was giving the introduction, but as she mentioned that she has based on the divine wisdom that we have to have a successful marriage life, right? And how God has instituted this institution of marriage. So this book actually, has 10 chapters that she has written on, and it's a very short book. Actually, it's like only 70 pages. So there are, I think, sister is back. Yeah.
I have, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's been a, yeah. So sorry for the interruption. And so what made me to write this book is in my 15 years of experience, there was so much of struggle, not only with the married couples, but people were in love failure, and there are several, as the social media's inception has started to come, especially the teenagers and the children fall into wrong relationships and they lose their souls. So I thought, let me come out with a book that makes them understand on the aspect of how to choose your life partner, what is the right age. So the first, the chapters of the book, if you see, it will be shocking. Those are the top 10 reasons for today's failure of marriage as well as the broken relationship. So chapter 1 says how to choose your prospective life partner. That gives a complete details of how you should understand yourself. First, you should understand yourself and to be matured enough to accept yourself as a person of your own. So then only you will be understanding the needs of the other person. Let's say a person is an ambitious person and he wants a woman who has to be just a housewife. Let's assume that a girl who is coming is also an equally an ambitious person. Definitely their terms and relationship is not going to work together because the mindset is different. So people, even before falling into love or before into falling into any kind of a marriage, they should first understand themselves, what is their life goals and ambitions, and they should choose their partner in line with that. So that aspect is given in the how to choose the prospective life partner. In fact, when I originally wrote the book, I said the right age of marriage is only 40 years, which was a very shocking thing, and everybody had a difference of opinion on that. But the fact is that we do not understand that marriage is not a customary event. Many people are not destined for marriage, and God's purpose is not for a human being, is just not for marriage alone. There are so many things that God wants us to unveil. Now marriage is become like a closed claustrophobic jail. ஒரு ஜெயில் மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. ஒருத்தரால வந்து அவங்களுடைய லைஃப் கோல்ஸையும் ஒரு ஆம்பிஷனையும் வந்து நிறைவேற்ற முடியாம போயிடுது. சோ எல்லாருமே வந்து திருமணம் பண்ணணுங்கிற அவசியம் கிடையாது. நம்மளோட சொசைட்டி வந்து நீ கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்கலையான்னு கேட்டே நிறைய பேரை வந்து கல்யாணத்துக்குள்ள தள்ளி விட்டுறாங்க, which is a very wrong notion. So marriage அப்படி பண்ணாம இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா பிப்ளிக்கலாவும் கூறப்பட்டிருக்கு, it's okay not to get married. So I would like to quote this on the first place. Second most important thing is that the family culture. கல்யாணம் அப்படிங்கும் போது, லவ் மேரேஜ் அப்படின்னும் போது டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிலிஜன், அவங்க எந்த ரிலிஜன்ல இருந்து வராங்க, எப்படி எல்லாருமே காதல் பண்ணும் போது ரிலிஜனை பாக்குறது இல்ல, ஆனா கல்யாணம் பண்ணும் போது ரிலிஜனை பாக்குறாங்க, டிஃபரன்சஸ் பாக்குறாங்க. Now after having the child, there comes a lot of complications where the child is also suffering the emotional trauma. So we need to understand even before falling in love, நம்ம கல்ச்சருக்கு இது செட் ஆகுமா, இந்த ரிலிஜன் வைஸ் நமக்கு செட் ஆகுமா. சொல்லிடுவாங்க காதலுக்கு ரிலிஜன் இல்ல, எல்லாமே இல்ல. காதலுக்கு ரிலிஜன் இல்ல, ஆனா திருமணத்துக்கு ரிலிஜன் இருக்கு. நாளைக்கு அப்பா அம்மா வரும்போது ரிலிஜன் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. So these are all should be prevented very clearly. The third important thing is that the respect. Many people say that, we always think that நம்ம கூட தானே வாழ்ந்துடுறா நம்ம பொண்டாட்டி, நம்ம கூட தானே நம்ம புருஷன் இருந்துடுறாங்க. கிடையாது. மரியாதை ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Because அந்த பேசிக் மரியாதை அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து இல்ல, நான் ஒரு திருமண வாழ்க்கையிலயோ ஒரு காதல் வாழ்க்கையிலோ இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு கெட் வெரி மச் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டட். தென் த சாப்டர்ஸ் லைக் ட்ரஸ்ட், கம்பேட்டபிலிட்டி, இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். நம்பிக்கை ஒருத்தர் மேல. இன்னைக்கு காலகட்டத்துல மெனி ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்ஸ் ஆர் கண்ட்ரோல்ட். ஹவு இட் இஸ் கண்ட்ரோல்ட்? A man says I am possessive about you, a woman says I am possessive about you. Now what do you mean by possessive? Adliye வந்து it is very clear. Possessive அப்படினாலே possession, only devil can possess you. Okay, have we ever, as Christians, have we ever thought about it? No, only the devil can possess you. So if your soul is entangled and if it is not able to free itself, if the relationship is controlling you and it is avoiding you to be freeing like a bird, definitely it is not going to be a good relationship to you. It is going to be a toxic relationship where you will lose yourself. Now today the most important aspect is that why this book also, I have written a lot about appreciation, healthy communication, mukyama compatibility in varamodu. I have mentioned very clearly, you need to accept that person as they are, the most important thing. We people do not know the difference between the conditional love and unconditional love. We don't know the concept of love itself. We think controlling a person is love. We think that there are people who should do our terms is called love. நம்ம உடனே கேட்டுறோம், அப்ப நீ என்ன காதலிக்கவே இல்லையா, நான் சொல்றதை நீ கேட்கவே மாட்டியா? அப்போ வந்து அவங்கவுங்களுக்குன்னு வந்து ஒப்பீனியன் இல்லாம போயிடுது. சோ நம்ம எல்லாமே லவ், கைண்ட்னஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஃபேக்டரை வந்து ஒரு கண்டிஷனா கொண்டு வந்து நம்மளையும் கஷ்டப்படுத்திட்டு அவங்களையும் கஷ்டப்படுத்திட்டு ஒரு மேரேஜ் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் குள்ள எதுக்கு போறோம்னே தெரியாம we are getting into it. So my first most important aspect is that we need to understand why we are getting into a relationship, why we are understand the concept behind it. ரோமன்ஸ்ல ரொம்ப குறிப்பா சொல்லப்பட்டிருக்கு, do not go by the worldly ways. உலக பிரகாரமா நீ இருக்காதன்னு வந்து பைபிள்ல கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு. இந்த உலகம் வந்து நீ கல்யாணம் பண்ணாதான் வந்து நீ வந்து அக்னாலேஜ் பண்ணப்படுவ அப்படின்னா கிடையாது. மேரேஜ் இஸ் நாட்
Ma'am is giving a very passionate presentation, and I'm really enjoying it. But she's having network issues. Let us pray to God that she might give this presentation without any obstruction. And I think this book is very quite interesting, a very different perspective, because the way she's speaking, we can hear her thoughts. So definitely we should go for this book. Arun brother told that it's a small book. Brother, how many pages book it would be?
It's a 70 pages book actually, and think she covered up to the 6 chapters. She's already spoken about compatibility, okay, healthy communication, appreciation.
I think she will join because net is showing that it's loading. So still now ma'am has given a presentation, and I like the thing, possessiveness and don't get possessed. So this is something which I've never heard any counselor, any biblical counselor or any Christian counselor or any pastor teaching. Often when a life partner, when they tell their wife or tell their husband that I'm very possessive of you, it means they don't trust them. They suspect them. They feel that they're talking to someone else, that you're loving someone else, and there only they use this word possessiveness. And often we see many such cases. And ma'am connecting it spirit possession, it was totally a very different thing. So let her come back. So we have Sam here. Sam, you are giving a nice smile. So till now ma'am has done presentation. Let me have your feedback. Yeah, ma'am is back. Let her continue. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, so we need to understand that why the
Oh my God, I think the devil is doing something so that we don't hear this best presentation. So Sam, so tell me till far, how was the presentation and what is your thoughts till now?
Yeah. So it was very interesting and what to say. It was very refreshing. I never heard I never heard this type of what to say review. Very thought provoking. Yeah, I think she is back.
I'm in the backstage.
No,
No, no,
ma'am,
we are
you're
able.
in the show. You can talk.
Yeah, if you're able to talk, I mean, able to hear me, it's okay. So the practicing, so many things I have put. Compatibility ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஒருத்தரை புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். இன்னைக்கு காலகட்டத்துல வந்து இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொரிந்தியன்ஸ்ல வந்து if you see, it clearly gives how a man and woman should, fulfill each other's need. Now, woman and man are not given proper sex education before marriage because our society has totally blindfolded. There are several couples who find it so difficult because of the physical needs differ from each other. ஸோ இந்த புக்கை வந்து நான் எழுதுனதுக்கு காரணம் வந்து என்ன அப்படின்னா, இன்னைக்கு காலகட்டத்துல வந்து ஒருத்தருடைய காதலை பத்தியோ இல்ல ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் விஷயம் பத்தியோ இல்ல திருமணத்தை பத்தியோ வந்து அட்வொகேட் கிட்டயோ ஒரு கவுன்சிலர் கிட்டயோ போய் பேச முடியாம போயிடுது. நிறைய கான்ஃபிடென்ஷியல் விஷயம். உண்மையை சொல்ல போனா ஐ ஹாவ் சீன் இன் மை 15 years of experience where couples or the lovers, they cannot talk everything to everybody, but this book, when they are reading it and sitting, 100% all the 10 chaptersல ஒரு சாப்டர் ஆகுது ஒருத்தரோட லைஃப்ல வந்து அது ரிலேட் ஆகும். அவங்க போய் அட்வொகேட் கிட்ட பேசணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை, அவங்க கவுன்சிலர் கிட்ட பேசணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. they can talk to their own consciousness and reflect what went in their wrong in their marriage. And the best part is that all the love failure people, all the people, marriage couple who are going into divorce, they think that their life has ended. And I'll tell you the most surprising thing is that, let's assume இன்னைக்கு காலகட்டத்துல திருமணங்கள் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப it is breaking like anything, and they are easily getting married for the second third time easily. Now the 10 commandments says do not commit adultery. Now people, they want to look in for a companion, so they get a license called marriage and they get into multiple marriage relationship. So marriage is not some kind of a license for any of us to do the adultery. We are still doing adultery in a legalized way without even understanding what is the emotional pain, what went wrong. To be very frank, if in case வந்து ஒரு டிவோர்ஸ் ஆன கப்புள்ஸ்க்கு வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, ஒரு மேனோ ஒரு உமனோ டிவோர்ஸ் ஆயிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, அவங்களுக்கு அந்த பிசிக்கல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லைன்னா no man and woman will marry. Only problem is the man and woman marry because for the fact the physical relationship need. So for that only we need a lot of spiritual meditation.
Again, there is a network issue.
Sam, you can continue.
இல்ல நிறைய போராட்டங்கள் இருக்கு முடியல. Okay, fine. So I have already reviewed this type of books, and to be honest, um, marriage is my very favorite topic because I think today evening only I got to know that this book is being reviewed. So actually Jemima messaged me, so I didn't reply because I want to surprise Akka that I will be definitely be in the meeting. So according to me, whenever we talk about marriage or when we analyze about marriage, we should be very bold because not everyone can say about sex education. Some guys don't tell in their tongue only. It is different when we talk to friends, but in the public stage, it needs a lot of what to say character, okay, to talk about those type of things. And what I liked more is there was a big question in my life also, how to choose a life partner. Because to be honest, yeah, I think
I'm
you're back.
back. I'm back. So coming on to that point, we need to understand that, you know, not everybody are destined for marriage, and we should never be scared of being alone. Please understand, when you're alone, your soul is free to fly. When we submit ourselves to the universe and to God, there are several things. There are பாதி பேர் வந்து வாழ்க்கையில வந்து அவங்களுடைய லைஃப் பர்பஸை வந்து கல்யாணத்தினால தான் தெரியாமலே செத்து போயிடுறாங்க. அவங்க எதுக்காக டெஸ்டினி ஆகுறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Sorry, I'm being a little brutal about the truth, but that's the fact. This includes even me. Of 13 years of my marital relationship, I always have felt, but for me and my husband being a great friends to each other, who have respected each other, we have given space to each other, this marriage could have not been possible between us. So there is a basic understanding where the man and woman should unconditionally love each other. நம்ம யாருக்குமே வந்து conditional love, we all think that what we are doing is love. I have even defined what you mean by unconditional love and what is a conditional love. You accept that person as they are with all their flaws is called the unconditional love, without a terms and condition. Now coming narrowing down to the aspect how to choose your life partner in the top 10 reasons, I have also given a compatibility questionnaire test with 20 questions for every man and woman to sit and analyze how to choose their life partner. அவங்களுடைய லைஃப்ல அவங்களுக்கு என்ன வேணும், எப்படி நடத்தணும், அவங்களுக்கு வந்து லைஃப்ல எப்படிப்பட்ட பார்ட்னர் வேணும், அந்த கொஸ்டினேர்ல வந்து the couple can work it out, lovers can work it out, who are into dating season can work it out, anybody. This book is designed in such a way where it is useful for people who are dating, lovers, who are married, who are facing divorce, who are going through a lonely place where they are looking in for a companion and everything. All these things aspects cover in this book because it is designed in the universal way. The most important thing is that the last chapter, many people, all of us,
So I think ma'am has come back to the last chapter and she will finish a review in a few seconds. So a presentation is very blunt, to the heart provoking, and those who are doing the mistakes in marriage, they will feel, oh my God, what I am doing. And those who feel that they are trapped, perhaps they might find a way out as to understanding their life partner better, understanding themselves. And she has a point that often in our Indian culture it's like that. Once a child, let it be a male child or a girl child, when it is born, the first question that people, as the child grows up, they will ask whether the children have attended puberty. And then the next, after some 7 to 8 years, the next question comes, when your child is going to get married, when you are going to get married. And once they are married, the next question crops up, that when you are going to have babies. So this is worldly view, and sometimes we get so obsessed with it. So we may not be ready to marriage, but because of pressure of society, because of pressure of family, and particularly the pressure of parents, many youths, they get married, and then they realize, oh my God, why did I got married? I was better as a single person. So that is how the world is, and that should not be. We should have a clear cut idea as to what my life is all about, what is my spiritual standing, how am I to establish myself in my secular job, what is the time for my marriage, what I'm going to do with my marriage, how my relationship with my life partner should be. Often if we are living in a family, we might have seen our parents. Sometimes some people, they learn things, they learn that whatever mistakes my parents did, I won't do in my marriage. This is one kind of learning. And another set is that whatever mistakes the parents do, automatically through genes or traits or whatever we can say, some are imbibed to do the mistakes with the parents do. So we should not be like that. We should learn from our parents, we should learn from our peers as to what a good marriage is. And so Bible has many things to say about what a good marriage is all about. And sister, she mentions a point that life is not only about marriage. Outside marriage also there are many things. It might be true, but we are living in an Indian society, and particularly for females, it is although we may understand it, it is really very difficult to execute it. So let ma'am come back. So I really wish that she would be able to complete a presentation. So we have brother Arun. So let us hear some insights from brother Arun.
So I think initially she was talking about, I mean, how to choose a perspective partner, right? So in that topic, just to elaborate, in the first chapter is about that. How do you?
Jemima, sorry for interruption. She's in backstage. The message has
Okay,
come.
she's in backstage. Yeah, she's joining. அட்மின் லைவ்ல இருந்தீங்கன்னா மேம கொஞ்சம் உள்ள இது பண்ணுங்க.
I think she's joined.
Ma'am, are you able to hear us?
Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Please continue, ma'am.
Yeah, so I will just finish it. So the last chapter is about, you know, lovemaking and sex and dating and everything. Why? Because today's youngster think dating is just going to the coffee shop and going to the theater and having fun. Dating is not that. Please understand, dating is predominant in the Western culture, where before into falling into the relationship or any love, they get to understand each other, how far they will be able to move and all these things. So our Indian perspective, they have so many misconceptions about dating. I see only youngsters going for coffee shop and having fun. It is not about that. If you're getting into a serious relationship, you get to know first each other as good friends. Try to understand in dating period or a courtship period, even if it could be the arranged marriage or a love marriage, please first talk about your negatives, because everybody is going to accept your positives for sure. Nobody is going to accept your negatives. So it is very important to communicate what is that you expect from that person. Please be open about it. Don't fall for just looks or just for the culture or anything, but there is something that you need to put up with the same person for years together and die with that person. Marriage is not something that you can, it is a one day affair or some years affair that you can do till just for 7 years, 10 years. And most important thing I would like to quote is that in this particular book, I have also clearly mentioned what are the marital issues that will come after 7, 10, 11 years. It's called 7 years, 10 years of marriages each, which most of the couples don't understand. At that point of time, what women, there will be an emotional detachment between both husband and wife, wherein there will be a gap, and they will feel everything is like normal, and they don't even have a healthy communication. They will not even talk. Actually, they will become like a roommate. Their communication will come down. But what happens is predominantly women will start to feel that, you know, oh, why is my husband not in the attention கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கறாங்கன்னு அவங்களே குழப்பிக்க ஆரம்பிப்பாங்க. So man and woman should be aware that this emotional detachment during this period of time is very, very common. And it happens in every marriages. 7 years, 10 years eachங்கிறது நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியவே தெரியாது. நீங்க ஒரே வீட்ல இருந்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இயர்ஸ் டுகெதர் 100% அந்த ஒரு சகிப்புத்தன்மை தட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கும். பிகாஸ் we are all human. நம்மளால டெய்லி சாம்பார் சாதம் சாப்பிட முடியாது, நம்மளால டெய்லி ரசம் சாதம் சாப்பிட முடியாது. So naturally, let's be practical. We are all humans. We need some kind of a change in our life. That is why it's very important. Married ஆன couple வந்து there is a concept called couch time. நமக்கு என்னது எல்லாருமே நம்ம இந்தியன் சொசைட்டி வந்து கல்யாணம் ஆன உடனே அந்த மேனுக்கும் உமனுக்கும் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். They think that there is no life. அப்பதான் லைஃபே ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது. After children only the true love starts. So it's very important. It's okay if you have children. Ensure that, you know, the husband and wife sit and talk with your husband and wife, especially husbands. I would like to quote, two women irukanga. I'm sure many women are watching this live streaming. ப்ளீஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டைம் நமக்குலாம் ஒரு பெரிய குறை வந்து என்னன்னா, நம்ம ஹஸ்பண்ட் நம்ம கிட்ட எதுவுமே கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்களே, பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்களே அப்படிங்கிற வந்து நம்ம நினைப்போம். நம்மள எதுவுமே கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறாரு, நமக்கு வந்து அட்டென்ஷனே கொடுக்க மாட்டேன். ப்ளீஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், இட்ஸ் பேசிக்லி த மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் டிஃபெக்ட் ஆஃப் த மேன். அவங்களால இமோஷனலா ஒரு லேடிய வந்து எப்படி கன்சோல் பண்றது அப்படிங்கறது அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. ப்ளீஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், தே ஆர் வெரி சிம்பிள் இன் தேர் பிரெயின்ஸ். ஆக்சுவலி அதுதான் உண்மை. If you ask a man to sit in front of a desk and see just like that, no, he will be blank, even 24/7. Women brain are complicated. I have seen in my own experience, there are many women who, where the man did not have an intention of having an affair. இவங்க சந்தேகப்பட்டு அவருக்கே அந்த ஐடியாவை கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. So please understand, men can never handle women emotionally. So men should learn before marriage how to handle your wife. அவங்க இமோஷனலா டவுனா இருந்தாங்கன்னா கேளுங்க. எஸ்பெஷலி ப்ளீஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், there is a lot of gap after a child is born. Women undergo lot of hormonal changes, and the real fact is that after 40 men undergo lot of mood swings like women. So mood swings is not only for women, it is also for men. ஒரு 40 வயசுக்கு மேல பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுடைய ஹஸ்பண்ட் வந்து டிஸ்இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடா இருப்பாரு, ரொம்ப குவைட்டா இருப்பாரு, அமைதி ஆயிடுவாரு. அது ஆக்சுவலா அது அவர் தப்பு இல்ல, அவரோட மூட் ஸ்விங்ஸ். ஏன்னா ஆஃபீஸ்ல நிறைய விஷயம் போயிட்டு இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் வை வி நீட் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் தட் there is one saying, மாற்றம் ஒன்றே மாறாதது அப்படின்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்கு. So even the love marriage relationship, it is evolving aspect. You need to accept it and you have to go with the flow. லவ் பண்றவங்களாம், நீங்க லவ் பண்ண புதுசுல வந்து அப்படி இருந்தீங்களே, இன்னைக்கு நீங்க அப்படி இல்லையே அப்படின்னா அப்படி இருக்கவே இருக்காது. Please understand, it is subject to evolvement and everything. We need to go with the flow, and the man and women need to understand it. And most important thing is that communication before marriage. It is very important for a girl and a boy, or man and a woman, to talk about the physical relationship. And this society has made it in such a way where that women are very scared to talk about their emotional needs, physical needs. Men should give their ears to their wives. What is their emotional and physical need? That is what even the Bible says. A man should be emotionally available, mentally available, and physically available for a woman. That is very, very important. அது இருந்தாலே லேடிஸ்க்கு பாதி பிரச்சனையே கிடையாது. Actually man thinks that women are very difficult to handle. All that they need is a little attention. You give them a little attention, there will be the happiest person. என்னம்மா சாப்பிட்டியா, என்னம்மா உடம்பு சரியில்லையா, இதை நீங்க கேட்டு பாருங்க. அதுக்கு அடுத்து that is the mantra of having a successful marriage relationship. Now coming to the last part is that the questionnaire, the compatibility test. Even as on date, you can sit and work on the compatibility test as a couple or as an individual to
So this book seems a very nice book. So we have some youths in our branch also, in 20s, 22, 23. So I think I need to give this book to them before they enter into their marital life. So we need to know what it is all about. So brother, so the last part is questionnaire, and then the book ends, right?
Yeah, the questionnaire, the book ends with the questionnaire where there are 20 questions. So basically it helps us to, it's like a multiple choice. There are 4 options for each question. And based on the answers, we'll know how compatible each others are. That's the idea actually. So, for example, how do you expect your partner to communicate with you? So that there are some options for that. What is the outcome you can expect of your marriage? So the questions like that. There are about 20 questions in the book actually. So
Okay.
So as she was saying that, the 10 chapters itself, right? So one thing, it's very, very, very well compared actually, between 18 to 30, what will be the mindset, and after 30, what will be the mindset. So there will be that comparison is given, which is very useful, I would say, when we go through it, right? Normally we look for things like age, what is the occupation, caste, community, financial stability. So those things we normally look for, but actually we should be looking for what is the mindset between the
Hello, I'm in backstage. Can anybody hear me?
No, ma'am, you're in the show. You can talk.
Hello, I'm in backstage.
Ma'am, you're in the show. You can continue talking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's in the show only. We can see her.
Yeah, again. Yeah. So there is a dedicated chapter on family culture. The second chapter is on family culture, when I first saw the topic, I thought it will be more related to religion, caste, those kind of things, but very clearly differentiated that with not looking for those kind of things. Instead of that, look for compatibility between the people who are going to marry, whether their family culture is similar, like whether what is the financial stability of both the families, what expectations do they have for marriage, like what does the boy expect from the marriage, what does the girl expect from the marriage, are they matching, or is it compatible? So those aspects should be looked on before they get into a marriage, right? Not the usual things like the religion, caste, occupation, whether the girl is ready to live with the boy's family, not those kind of factors, but factors like this. So that is one thing which was very strongly emphasized. And regarding the age, I think sister mentioned that is like age 40 is the right age he was mentioning, right? So the reason for that, I think in the book finally settled for after 30. The reason for that is it's differentiating between like what people normally think as infatuation versus once they're matured, what will they think about life, right? So that was a difference given. Actually, it's clearly explained why she advocates for a 30 age. Actually, there could be, we could disagree with that, but there are very valid arguments she has given, actually, because in a 18 to 30 level, we'll be like more focused on college life, finding a job, and still be dependent on parents. All those aspects will be there between that age of 18 to 30. Whereas once they come back to 18 to 30, above 30, they will start looking at compatibility, financial stability, tolerance of how we tolerate each other, ability to understand. So those things will be better after 30. So that's the argument given for that. That's the first two chapters, focusing on this age part and the family culture and part, actually. Then the remaining topics, I think, are very focused on respect. Some of the qualities that should be there, right? Respect is, and it is the foundation for the marriage. The second one was about trust, actually. So in the trust, I found some things very important, very nicely put. Like, for example, sharing the salary. Like, so if the wife is not working, if the girl is not working, the husband should share the salary with his spouse. So when they say share the salary, it's not just meeting the needs of the family and meeting the needs of the wife, but give her financial independence and give her money, so that there is financial independence in the families. And that is the first part. And on top of it, meet the needs. Like, it's not about meeting all the needs, like buying the stuff, right? It's also giving her money to make her financially independent. So that point was given in the trust and the communications aspect. So though that was something which I liked in the book, actually, when we're speaking about the trust. And on compatibility, 70% of success of marriage is due to compatibility, is what she's mentioned. And because how to maintain the individual identity of the boy and the girl in the marriage, right? The man and the women in the marriage. So how do we maintain that individual ability? So compatibility, how do we handle disagreements? So those things are being talked about in the compatibility chapter. That's the fifth chapter. And the next chapter is about healthy communication, where the focus is on, one thing I liked there was, when you're in the communication, when you're having disagreements, don't trigger the past things. don't trigger on the past things and start a fight. So have a healthy communication and focus on finding a solution to the problem rather than arguing about who is right or who is wrong. So that aspect was highlighted. The next one is on appreciation. Appreciation was like, should understand it's not a one-man show or one-woman show, and then the way man wants an appreciation, the way the women wants an appreciation are different. So some tips were also being given, like if give a day of rest to your wife, check on their health, giving flowers. One aspect for both the things she mentioned was me time. Give specifically a me time. Give specifically a me time for both husband and wife. So give specific time for them is the other thing. Like give a me time was that's to appreciate each other actually, and similarly to the wife to be more welcoming, understanding the man and all that. And next thing was about gratitude. In gratitude, it was unconditional love. I think she spoke about that in the presentation also. Talk about having an unconditional love, supporting the goals of each other, for the man to give a sense of security. Those aspects were coming in the gratitude. And the last two chapters I found was like very, it was very blunt and very bold chapters. One was setting boundaries and individual space. I think that's where our families lag now, right? Like setting boundaries, meaning marriage is about sacrifice and compromise. When we acknowledge that, we also need to be givers and takers. Like if you're giving compromise something, that should be something else that you get compromise, you get the benefit of. And having not to lose your self identity, be able to pursue our goal, the individual goals of the man and the woman, those kind of things, and having the space of their own, irrespective of being in a marriage. So those are some things mentioned there. So which we don't really focus on, right? And the last chapter was like again a very bold. I think Sam brother also saying on that, like we don't talk about sex education, all that, right? So it was a chapter where clearly dating, romance, sex, and love making, 4 things mentioned, and how different each of them are, and we should understand the difference between these 4 in the marriage. And the physical needs of a woman and the physical needs of the man are different. Like women needs to be more emotional, and they expect emotional healing from a man, whereas man is more physical. Physically, he needs the relationships and the different stages. I think she spoke about that. After 7-10 years, you get that marriage age. And when talking about romance, she talked about couch time. Have a couch time. You have a time together. Sit together, have a couch time during romance. So you spend time together. Some other aspect that was brought out actually. So yeah, those are the chapters, and it ends with a questionnaire. So that's how I would summarize the book. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Since you had read the book, you gave many extra information as to what the content of the book is all about. So the author of the book, she's very bold. We can see it in a presentation, and the book is also a bold book. So we need to buy this book. And is it available in Amazon, brother? Ma'am, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please, ma'am, continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am,
Hello.
we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We
So,
can hear you.
yeah, yes, I can hear you. So almost it is presented, and I was listening to what Mr. Arul was saying. So thank you for the opportunity, and I request everybody to read the book, which is of great help to you. If you have any family issues, if you have a marital issue or a relationship issue, please go ahead and read this book. And this book is available in Kindle also, where you can read for a free copy version, and direct orders is also being taken, and it is available in Amazon as well. So please read the book, and it is a simple premarital counseling guide for every man and woman to understand marriage, relationship, love right, so that they don't fall into wrong relationship, for them to question whether they are really fallen in love with anybody, so that they don't lose their life energy. So when a person has a love depression or a failure, it takes at least for him to come out from the same for 3 to 4 years time minimum. That's minimum. So imagine how much of life energy goes for him, how much of strain and the trauma that he undergoes is very, very difficult, and several things happens to him psychologically and mentally. They get affected, and before even getting into an emotionally healed state, they find another relationship. So this book will help people to talk and reflect their problems. They need not talk with anybody. Let them talk within themselves. Let them talk with the conscience and find out how things has to be done with the help of God. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So today your presentation was very unique in that you talked from your heart, and as a author, you were able to give this presentation very boldly. So you know what it is all about. So as a relationship trainer, you talk very nicely. It's many issues of marriage we don't consider. What is should not be considered, we are taking that seriously, and that is the mistake we people are doing nowadays. So. I was telling that I will definitely buy this book and present to the youths in our church, so that before they enter into a marriage, they should know what is it is all about. And mainly, we don't give youths premarital counseling just because parents want to finish off their duties, or they feel that I am become age, so let me marry my children off. They are getting married off, and you told that the right age for marriage is 40. So I was actually smiling because some 12 years back, when I got married at 28 years, at that time, people were literally bombarding our parents. What is this? As the leader of the church, pastor is doing marriage for all kids. Why you're not married? Why you're not married? So at that time, 12 years back, I felt that, oh, I am doing a late marriage. But after my marriage, I realized it's good that I got married at 28, because till then I was the last child of the family, and everyone used to tell that Jamie is very childish, Jamie is very immature. That was the thing portrayed about me. But after marriage, I realized that at the right time I got married, and there were many things which I was able to understand, because my siblings were married off before me, and they used to share their experience, what all problem will come, what all issues may come. And I had antennas in my head that I should not do all this thing. And I even had a life partner who was very mature, who is very understanding. So by God's grace, yes, we have our own disagreements, but we realize how to sort out things, and God's grace, everything is going right. And we want a good marriage for all the couples all over the world, not only in our church or in our relations, throughout the world. Everyone should lead a very happy and pleasant married life. For that, I think even those who are not having any issues, this book is good book, so that they may not fall into such problems in the future. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for writing this book to us. And we have our panel today. Arul, our brother, already, since he has read the book, he gave us many insights. So now we have Sangeetha sister. Sister, please give your feedback about the presentation and your perspective upon the topic.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk in this show. Ma'am has very nicely, she has presented the book, and very nicely she told that about the divine path of happy marriage. The interesting part which I liked about the first line which she said in First Corinthians, it is better not to get married, because after getting married, people face many problems, and then later on, after for few years they live nicely, and then after certain years there is no interest in them. Like about many celebrities also it happens nowadays. It is becoming more like there are more divorce cases are there. So I think it is better to get little late, so that the maturity will be there and understanding will be there. Because if you are going to get married early, then that infatuation, everything goes away, and then later on you feel boredom sets in. So I think, according to me, that it is better to marry little late, so that you will be matured enough to deal with all situations. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Mostly, I think the panel will tell that it is better to get married late. So, we should settle in our career, establish ourselves. As ma'am told, self evaluate ourselves that who we are, what we want in our life, why should we get married, why should we have kids, what we are going to do with the kids before stepping into the sacred institution. And next, we have Sam. Sam, please give your feedback. Sam is a fresh partner. He's married for only 3 years. So his perspective might be entirely different from us. Let's see what Sam has to say about this.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Actually, I missed this book before my marriage. Mine was a lockdown marriage. So I asked my church pastor to give two, three books because in his cabin there are a lot of books of marriage. So I told him just give me two, three books that I can read. But all books were like 300 to 400 pages. I just read that three, 4 pages, and then I got bored. Okay, but now I miss. Okay, how can I miss this book of just 70 pages? 70 pages is very easy for me to read. Okay, so I have highlighted some key points that how to choose a life partner. So this was the biggest question in my life because as I stay in Mumbai, so it is very difficult. It is very difficult to what to say to not get married because whenever I was in like school days or any college days, my lot of friends were roaming with their girlfriends. They were having affairs. So as I am from the Christian family, as my dad is a pastor, so a lot of them, so a lot of the friends ask me, you look smart, Sam. So there will be definitely you you might be having girlfriend. There were a lot there was a lot of comments that I was receiving, but to be honest. I was very blunt in that. The thing is that from child, I was in like what to say, Sunday school, and I have also done theology, bachelor's in theology. So I was doing that also. So whenever I was like preparing for my marriage, I controlled myself, but there was a definite plan of marriage, but the right time, I was waiting for the right time. I was waiting for the spirit leading. The spirit should lead us well because in Bible also Jesus said, wait for the right time. Now I am going, but there is a spirit which will lead you. So waiting for the right time, and yeah, the question is how to choose a life partner. So according to me, uh, I was praying, God show me who is who is the future life partner. But what to say, the answer never came. But to be honest, it is like, okay, how the life goes through, we should understand, and we should let it easy. Don't think so much and don't confuse yourself. So definitely I will read this book. So next is after marriage, it the life is life becomes like a jail. There's a very much important point. And one more thing, I have a daughter, 2-year-old daughter, and my wife says that it's okay to not to get married to which the daughter I have. So I was really a bit laid back, and I was a bit surprised why my wife is telling me. Uh, so I understood now. It's okay not to get married. It's her wish. We should not force them. No, it is 25, you should marry. No, no, definitely not. We should because Bible is a double edged sword. So we must get to know that how the Bible has been written. Next thing is respect is must, and the next is that possessiveness. I always use this type of word, but now I understood, no, I should stop using this word, that possessiveness. Okay, it is equivalent, it is concurrent to devil, which I understood. And another thing is that I never appreciated my wife, because the thing is that when my mom does some dosas or idlis or any special item, I never tell, okay, it is good. No, no, I never tell. But whenever my wife was making something, she always says me, "Arey, just appreciate now how it is." I was just little bit confused why she is asking appreciation to me. My mom never asked, but why she is asking? But but in that point, I just what to say. I realized later. Oh, okay, fine. Appreciation is needed. Okay, because before that, she never done. She never has gone to kitchen when her mom was making all that foods. But she was making food for me. How much love she is showing through that food. Because every time she watches YouTube and makes special dishes to me, so she expects appreciation, and she needs rest also. She always motivates me. She always says me, "Are you also learn to cook now? It will be good. It will be supportive to me." So definitely, okay, I will do that. So and another thing is that, and she's a homeopathic doctor, and she's a psychological doctor also. So she always says that accept them as they are, accepting all the flaws. This is called as unconditional love, and I realized this very much later. Accepting with the flaws, okay, and talk about your negatives. One more important point which I got to note, and the last thing is marriage is all about sacrifice and compromise. So a lot of them say, why should I compromise? No, compromise is a must, and sacrifice is also a must, which I learned. And to be honest, my wife always says me that you were very selfish, you were very selfish before marriage, huh? So now she is and my life has changed after marriage, and because of my wife, I can boldly say, what to say, she leads my life, uh, that how should I talk, how should I speak with others. So uh, definitely divine path to a happy marriage. Okay, the book is really very helpful. Definitely I will buy this book and I will read, and definitely I will take training from Miss Elil, relationship trainer. Definitely I want to take training from you. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And one more thing, Miss Elil, your communication skills are really very awesome. Your English and Tamil is super awesome. Definitely I am a big admirer of yours, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much for your heartfelt response. So yes, it's really very important that we should not try to change our partner. Let us see how we can change, how we can grow with our partner, so that our life would be a very better place to live. So thank you, Elil ma'am, for taking this time. And I know that you had a lot of network issues, but yet with your persistence and perseverance, we're able to finish this review, and we are very glad that you are with us. And special thanks to brother Arun for bringing ma'am to a show and bringing this book to us. Dear friends, this book is available in Amazon, as ma'am told, and it is also available in Kindle version. So please check this book, and if you feel that it will be of interest to you, do buy this book and be benefited. Thank you, Sister Sangeetha James, for being part of our show today. And thank you, Sam, for your valuable time. And dear friends and viewers, we had a very nice presentation today. So next week, we'll be coming to you with a new book and a new presenter. Till then, goodbye, good night. God bless you all. Have a nice day. Bye. Bye, ma'am. Bye, brother. Bye, bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye.